Ever wondered why suffering exists in a world supposedly created by an all-loving, all-powerful God? This question has troubled many minds throughout the ages. From a Christian perspective, the presence of suffering, hardship, and persecution is a complex issue deeply rooted in the biblical narrative. It's a narrative that begins with the original sin of Adam and Eve. This act of disobedience, as told in the book of Genesis, led to the brokenness of creation. The world, once perfect, was now marred, and this brokenness brought about suffering and pain for humanity. God, in his infinite wisdom and sovereignty, allows human beings the freedom to make choices. This freedom, though a gift, is a double-edged sword. It often leads humanity down a path of suffering, injustice, and persecution. But why would an all-loving God allow this? This is the enigma of suffering we seek to unravel as we delve deeper into the Christian perspective. The freedom to make choices, though a gift, often leads humanity down a path of suffering, injustice, and persecution. Imagine being a righteous man, yet encountering immense hardship. Sounds familiar? This was Job's story. Job, a man of God, faced a series of unimaginable sufferings. He lost his possessions, his children, and was afflicted with a painful illness. Yet, in the midst of his trials, Job refused to curse God. Instead, he chose to trust in God's sovereignty. Despite not understanding why he was suffering, he declared, "Though he slay me, yet will I trust in him." Job's story offers a profound insight into enduring suffering with unwavering faith. It's a testament to the strength that faith can provide when life seems unbearable. Job's faith was not swayed by his circumstances. Instead, it was anchored in the character of God, whom he knew to be faithful and just. In the midst of suffering, Christians believe that God offers comfort, hope, and strength. God provides solace and reassurance, even when the storm rages on. In addressing suffering, the life of Jesus Christ stands pivotal. Picture a man, not just any man, but Jesus Christ. He lived among us, taught about love and compassion, served others, and yet he too experienced the harsh sting of suffering. He was persecuted, mocked, and ultimately crucified. His pain was immense, the burden heavy. But here's where the story takes a turn. Jesus, in his darkest hour, didn't falter. He bore the suffering with dignity and grace, proving that even in suffering, there's a possibility for strength and resilience. And then, the miracle of miracles. He rose again. His resurrection is more than just a story of survival. It's a testament to victory over suffering. It shows us that God is not a distant entity, but a being who understands human pain, who has experienced it firsthand, and who offers redemption. Jesus' life and resurrection offer hope and victory over suffering. It's a beacon of hope, shining bright in the darkest corners of human suffering. Suffering is not pointless. It can produce perseverance, character, and hope. From a Christian perspective, suffering is often seen as a crucible for spiritual growth. It's a difficult path, no doubt, but one that can deepen our faith and transform our character. It's a way to identify with the suffering of Christ, to share in his experiences, and to draw closer to him. But it goes even deeper. Christians believe that God, in his infinite wisdom, can use suffering for a greater good. Yes, the pain is real, the struggle is immense, but it's not without purpose. It can bring about a positive outcome, a silver lining in the darkest clouds. It can teach us important life lessons, help us to appreciate the good times, and mold us into better versions of ourselves. So while the road may be tough, remember this: suffering, while challenging, can bring about spiritual growth and important life lessons. Faith in God's goodness provides hope amidst the struggles of the world. Christianity, at its core, emphasizes this faith. Believers trust in God's benevolence, his steadfast presence, and his ceaseless work, even amid life's storms. It is a faith that sees beyond the immediate pain, beyond the prevailing suffering, and glimpses a higher purpose at work. This faith is not blind, but rather it's enlightened by the promise of God's ultimate justice. It's a conviction that God, in his time, will mend the broken, heal the wounded, and restore the fallen. Particularly in the life to come, Christians anticipate a world where suffering is no more, where every tear is wiped away. This faith also fuels hope. It's a hope that shines brightest in the darkest hours, a beacon that guides through tumultuous seas. It's a hope rooted in the divine promise of ultimate restoration and redemption. In the midst of suffering, Christians find hope, comfort, and the promise of ultimate restoration and redemption in God.